Hey dude, Thub here. Short video today on a subject that I've been meaning to make a video on for a while. Nobody ever seems to talk about it, probably because it's a little uncomfortable, but it's important, and now seems like a good time. You may have seen a few videos ago I found a really nice pair of catalytic converters. Well, I brought them home and I put them right here. And they're not there anymore. They walked off. How about that? I'm not really surprised, and I don't really blame them. I mean, it was my own fault for not covering them up with the tarp that's right there. And every scrapper knows when you find one of those, it's a good day. I'll never really know how much they were worth. Rumor has it those big domestic truck ones are the good ones. But safe to say, it would have filled my gas tank. Don't feel bad for me. You saw where I picked them up, and I just assumed they were garbage and helped myself. They ain't some golden boy who... I'm not a role model. But there were a few key differences between what I did and whomever helped themselves to this one did that I think are important and I'd like to illustrate. The most important difference comes down to where you find it. See, when I found it, it was in the alley. Now, this isn't an across-the-board solution, but generally, if it's in the alley, I consider it fair game. Sitting in my yard, on the other hand, well, that's private property, and anything that you take off of private property without permission is theft, plain and simple. Now, I'm not holding up that definition to try and make the straw man that walked off with my cats look like the bad guy. I think it's a really important point. If it's on private property, you stay off the property. It's really... There's more to it than that, though. You can't just help yourself to anything that you find in an alley. For example, if you come across a car battery that's frozen to the ground and looks like it's been there for a few months, well, it's probably fair game on public property. If, however, you come across some batteries that are locked to the back of a tent trailer, well, they're probably in use. Suppose you find an extension cord that's hanging over somebody's fence. It's in the alley. It's probably in use. It's not for you. What if you found a bike sitting back there? No! The point I'm trying to make here is if you choose to do this for a little side income, from time to time you're going to have these moral dilemmas, and you're going to have to ask yourself, is this okay to take? Or am I doing the wrong thing? I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but here's what I do. The private property rule should be pretty obvious by now. In terms of public property, something lying in an alley, I like to put myself in the other person's shoes and think about how I would feel if that were mine and I came home and it went missing. Something like an extension cord for warming up your car, or the batteries on your RV, or your bike sitting around there. Those are a couple obvious examples for, I'd be pretty choked if something like that went missing. I think it'd be pretty clear that it was currently in use. Sometimes it's not so obvious. I came across an aluminum rim the other day, which I really would have liked, but it kind of looked like the owner had intended to put tires back on it as soon as the snow was gone. So I left it. You're gonna run into these situations from time to time, so I encourage you to think about where you stand. A man's got to have a code. So leave it better than you found it. Keep doing the thing.
I may sound like a Bible beater yelling up a revival at a river crossing camp meeting, but that don't change the truth none. There's right and there's wrong. You gotta do one or the other. You do the one and you're living. You do the other and you may be walking around, but you're dead as a beaver hat.